One.
It's not the same issue on my carpet. Ah, Christian's an idiot.
You tit.
Deary me, hello.
Hello.
It's a good thing we didn't say anything horrible, isn't it?
Like we normally do.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I put that on
Lucky.
for a reason.
Very
because
lucky.
Just include Charlie in the habit. I did it out of habit.
Hello, and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your hosts, Jacques Nedley Thompson. And I'm joined, as always and as usual, by one Kristian Lasham.
Hello. I am not talking in a French accent.
Neither was Jack.
I was trying. And this evening we are joined by the problematic protege,
I like that.
Oh yeah, that's good. There's
That's very good.
alliteration.
Charlie Coo.
I think that's better than King of the Dad joke.
Yeah.
Quite a lot's better than King of the Dad.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Especially considering it's very rare you say a dad joke.
don't-
It's more just there's some form of rudeness
Yeah, I
involved.
tell dad jokes like at work. Here,
Here, there are fingers.
there are fingers. There's things that
There are
probably
toes.
will get me cancelled in the future when the shit gets
And
dug
us
up.
all. And us
with
all.
us. Yeah.
Let's not talk about the Matrix scenario.
Oh,
No,
I don't
we
know.
won't.
I don't know.
We
about
won't talk about the Matrix scenario.
Can we
except
talk
for
about
this
that?
Matrix scenario?
After that, yes, the toaster. This is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media. And you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services. And you can join the chaos and carnage that is a conversation over in the Discord.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Fucking years and years of doing that, and you have just changing it now. It's like remembering my name's now Steve. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Ba 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 ba. Steve.
I'm missing something here.
So's everyone else, don't worry. And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that has recently gotten wider.
I'm wearing merch, it's just not ours. It's Hard Rock Cafes.
Well,
That doesn't fucking help, does it?
Nah.
We don't sell Hard Rock Cafe stuff.
Maybe we should. We would make more
up.
money.
no, we wouldn't.
We would lose all
there's a
money
retailer.
in court.
Fuck, only if they find out. Fuck it.
If they don't, we're not making enough money.
All right.
That's
Yeah. So either way, the same problem exists.
All right, forget it then. Fine.
Business doesn't just go. I already have. What we're
We should
talking
offer
about?
it. We don't have to do it. Jesus.
And finally, if you are watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your heart to get that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. Today we are here to talk about the film with 96 endings. It is The Dark Knight. General thoughts going around the table. What does everybody think of The Dark Knight? Charlie.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I love this film so fucking much. It's one of the first superhero movies where I'm like, oh my fucking god, like this is so good. It's
I was causing carnage with a plectrum.
okay. Why's that even there? Oh no, on the table, you dickheads.
There are 8
For the
guitars on the
audience, I
wall
was
in this
pointing
room.
to the nearly double digits amounts of guitars that are
Yeah.
hanging on the walls.
Yeah, but they're on the table, aren't they? So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Bit good with it. Good. Right.
Fantastic as always, Charlie. Christian?
Thanks, Steve. I am going to upset people. I think this film is fine to okay. I don't think it's great because there is some incredible moments in this film. There's some incredible moments in this film. There's some really good performances, but I think it's really badly stitched together. I think it's just a mishmash of like we'll do this now. Oh, we'll do this now. We'll do this now. We'll do this now. It gets really, really slow in the middle. Someone said in the Discord that this film feels long. It feels so fucking long. It's
does feel
really
long,
badly
yeah.
paced. And I think this film gets loads and loads and loads of praise because of Heath Ledger. And the situation around Heath Ledger means people praise it even more. I guarantee you, if the situation around Heath Ledger had happened in this, we wouldn't be talking about it in the same way this film gets talking about. Like, people just naturally link onto these things when it happens. It's kind of the same. We had the same conversation during the week with Fast 7. You can make points in certain areas, and maybe it's not as good, maybe it's not as good as that, but the whole sentimental thing around it makes you attach yourself to the film in a different way, and I think this is a victim of that in a strange way. That's not to say it's a bad film. It's a fantastic film, but I don't think it is in any way the best of the three, and I think it does have a lot of problems.
I think I agree with you in a lot of that we said about sort of the Heath Ledger connection. You know, as great his performance is and as tragic as it was what happened to him, people do get put up on a pedestal when they pass away.
Yeah, and his performance is outstanding.
Not to say it wouldn't be fucking widely regarded if he hadn't died.
Yeah. Yeah, it's outstanding. Of course it is. But that's probably the best thing about this movie. I think the rest of this movie is okay, cool. But it gets messy. It gets really messy. It's slowly paced. We've said already last week that it has, and you said it has a million endings. It doesn't seem to ever end. There's the last third act is kind of a fourth act, and it's just so dragged out.
You mean the fourth act?
And we kind of, I also think it just lacks. You know, people say, "Oh, it's really good superhero." I've heard someone say, arguably one of the best superheroes of movies of all time. It's like,
Nope.
Not at all. There's hardly any superhero stuff happening in it.
No.
We get more Bruce Wayne in this film than we do Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time he is Batman. He's not really doing anything overly Batman-y. Like if you're talking about the fight scenes, the Batman style fight scenes are nowhere near as good as the Batman style fight scenes in Batman Begins. You don't have any of kind of like the creepy, scary, him skulking around the shadows and taking everyone out and everyone being unsure.
You've only got that at the beginning, really.
Yeah, and even then it doesn't do much
yeah.
of it. There's hardly any of it at all.
To be fair, I know what that is. That was on purpose. I'm not to say whether or not that is lesser or worse, but that was on purpose. The first film was about fear. This one's about chaos.
For sure.
So that's why they portrayed him in more of a scary light in the first film, because it was all about fear, whereas this one's all about chaos and then how you respond to chaos.
Sure.
And there wasn't really, obviously, the scenarios for him to then be
But
all
I
this
still
skulking.
feel like-
I'm not to say that it's not then a criticism to lay on the film and something you don't like about it.
Yeah.
Not to say that at all.
Yeah, I just think that those doing those things are mistakes. You know, for me, it would have been. They're the things that were interesting about Batman Begins. They're the things that were cool about that character. And seeing him have, like, for me, you can have this film about chaos because Joker can represent chaos. You can still do that. I don't understand why that means that Batman as a character, like, or we lose those things from Batman.
Well, it's because,
like,
on that regard, I do, because the situations Joker has created don't set Batman up for those moments. There aren't any moments in this. Obviously, that was by design as well, but there are no scenarios that Batman could have handled that way.
For sure,
in this film, and that was as a direct result of the way everything and everyone else was responding to the fact that this was just pure chaos as opposed to pure fear.
But there were scenes of him going in and so like the when was it? There's one where he takes out a bunch of henchmen.
There's multiple.
There is. But there's multiple scenes where he takes a bunch of henchmen, but none of them really done in that. I don't understand why those things wouldn't still be done like Batman would. That's kind of like the thing I have. And again, like I know what you're saying, but for me it's a criticism in the sense of they're the things I like about Batman. It's not being able to get to see Batman do that is disappointing. Mm-hmm. So the Batman Begins still, I think, excels in that sense over this. That's kind of what I mean.
That's fair enough. I don't really hold it that way because Batman Begins is probably the only movie that we've ever had that he does do that.
Absolutely.
So actually, Batman Begins is the outlier in that.
I agree.
In that regard, not to say it's not a valid criticism, but Batman actually very rarely does that. We kind of gotten that impression from Batman Begins and then the Arkham games as well. Like,
which again, this is from a personal opinion point of view. Like
that's the type of Batman you like.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's absolutely fair enough.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fair enough. But I think it's hard to do in movie. I know they did it once and they did it well with Batman Begins, and it's hard to do. And it kind of becomes like, really, again, when you keep setting up these, like, how are they not privy to the fact that he's up there at this point.
It's like in the games, in the Arkham games, where it's like, this is about the 23rd gargoyle in the last 5 minutes I've taken one of you fuckers out from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an extra.
And they don't notice that all their colleagues are just dangling
Yeah.
a foot above their
Often
head.
still alive and just like,
It's like, Bruce, I can absolutely hear him. But no, I feel, this movie has 4 acts, so the last act just feels like, just, come on, this feels like a different movie. My main thing is that this is a compilation. It's not a movie, it's a compilation of scenes from different movies.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it doesn't resolve shit. It just, after the 90 endings, where it could have gone on to... Yes, okay, fine. If they had ended it where they had ended it and then moved on to a sequel where they were planning on continuing, they wouldn't have been able to anyway because of Heath Ledger passing, but at least we would have known why, whereas this just went on and on and on, and then he's just dangling. That is the end.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. He's supposed to be in Dark Knight Rises, but couldn't have been. But still, he's just left dangling. And then the other villains just yeeted off a building after half an hour, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So I did that.
I saw a comment from Hannah saying, I think it was Hannah that said it, can we just eradicate anything with Harvey Dent after the hospital scene? It's like...
That should have been Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, what?
Well, not Dark Knight. It should have been the third
It should have
one.
been the third one, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I agree. Should we just say we're in spoiler land here at this point?
Yes. I've already said spoilers, but hey-ho.
Oh, have you? Oh,
No,
sorry.
I mean, I've already made spoilers.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. I agree with that. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that happens with Harvey Dent isn't particularly bad, but it tries to do so much with that character in such a short amount of time. It doesn't really work. And then it tries to squeeze so much in that last half hour or so that it feels underwhelming. And even though you could argue and sort of see the leaps in logic as to how he got to that point, it happens so quickly, it almost feels too quickly. So
it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel real because, like, the character development, I agree, but not, in an hour?
Yeah.
Like, not even in film time. It seemed to be in a fucking hour. Like, also, how did he not recognise the Joker before he took off the mask?
I know, that's the thing. That's hilarious. But, like, I get it. Like, his twist comes from the fact that he's already, like...
He's already got anger issues.
He's already got anger issues, and then, obviously, Rachel gets killed. So, I get that. I get what would break him. I buy. But because you're being shown it in a short amount of time, along with these other plot lines, so you get even less time of it, it feels really, really quick. Whereas if they'd kind of left it with...
Teed it up and then finished it.
Yeah, teed it up with that, Rachel's been killed, and how's this going to break Harvey? But you don't really see him fully go.
You could have had, like, he is missing from the hospital, and that's all you see of that in this movie, and then it's explored in the next one, and that's how it should have been. I just felt like... I don't think this is a well-written movie.
I agree. Totally agree.
This is absolutely all over the place in terms of structure and everything, and there's, like, nothing really to follow on, and I remembered it being longer between Gordon faking his death. How the fuck did he do that, by the way? He got shot and had no pulse. That's not a plan. That is death.
Yeah, when did he conduct that plan? Was it like, just did he die and then was like whispered in his mate's ear, pretend I'm dead, when he was shot? Or like, was it pre-planned? Like, how did he get that all together?
Well, the thing is, he didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
He didn't tell anyone, so... Like, that guy wouldn't have pretended he was clearly dead. Like, how did he then... Oh, I don't fucking know. Because he didn't even tell the mayor who he jumped in front of to get shot and all that kind of stuff. And
if we talk about realism as well, can we also talk about how the fuck is Harvey forming full words perfectly and we can understand him with half a mouth?
you could talk with half a mouth.
It'd be like...
There would definitely be some
Definitely
form
would be.
of oral distortion. Yeah.
Absolutely. And he has none. He just talks
To be
with such a
fair, when you
gruffer
look at
voice.
his face, that's the least of his concerns.
I mean,
That is the least of the scientific
I mean,
It is.
scientific worries.
But it's the
he's
one
not
that stands
far off.
after
Just
me.
he's dead.
Yeah, you would be dead.
Yeah.
You would die from shock from that. Like,
Gotcha.
you wouldn't be able to do anything because you'd be like, my eye!
I don't think that there'd be just putting a bit of cloth over the burns either that you could just easily pull off.
They also wouldn't be. He opted out of skin grafts. I don't give a fuck. Give me your ass. It's going on your face. Like, it's the sort of thing of they wouldn't be like, I'm opting out. They would just fucking do it.
I don't know if they would in America though, because it's not
Yeah, that's true.
a health service.
Give me your ass. It's coming on my face. Can we clip that enough out of context?
Yeah, on it.
I mean, that's probably way out.
No one has mentioned this, but I'm pretty sure all of the audio dialogue is going to be out of sync with the cameras because I have not fixed that problem. But no one
you not?
mentioned anything. But I've not done it.
Jaw be leaking out of his face hole? It will absolutely be leaking out of his face hole. His eye, as I said, would be...
Oh, they're now saying it.
Ooh. Maybe that's been delayed.
You mentioned it after we had said no one had mentioned it, though, to be fair. Rich?
Signed, problem solved. That's completely my fault.
Or maybe you mentioned it earlier though and we missed it.
He might have mentioned it earlier and we missed it, to be fair.
That's entirely possible. But yeah, I don't know. And also, I saw an article.
Said it earlier and we missed it.
Cool. We're having a chat. Fuck it. This movie's all right.
Thank you for watching.
I've forgotten what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, shit, the bed. Oh, I also saw an article that really pissed me off in the setup for this film. And it kind of goes into one of the things we'll get into on Press Start as well, weirdly. And it was like an article like going into the problems, and it was just an article of going into the issues and plot holes of The Dark Knight. And the opening paragraph just kind of ended as, so with in regards to all the plot holes in The Dark Knight, who cares? It's still bloody blah,
Was that the
blah.
one that Sammy posted in the Discord?
Oh, it was, yeah. Yeah. I think it was.
When plot holes don't matter, I think was the title of it. I didn't read it, but I seem to remember seeing this.
Yes, it was. Sammy posted that. And I was just like, plot holes always matter. But you can't have you can't be like, this movie is excellent regardless of plot holes. Those plot holes mean it's not excellent.
I mean, I think what it was getting as that if a film is good enough, you can
Forgive it.
You can forgive and buy certain... Like, we sort of go, all right, I buy it, fine, with certain things.
With certain things, not in this
Not
movie.
major plot holes, yeah, I agree.
This movie is like one you can't, because none of it makes sense. I mean, they do a lot of clever stuff, like the ship at the end. You know full well, like it was probably written, but obviously never specifically said in the movie that they had their own detonators on the ferries.
Oh yeah,
100%. And even though they were told that it was each other's, because that's the sort of, and not one of those people goes, wait, this could be the one for ours.
Also,
Yeah,
I hate that whole sequence for a number of reasons, because like you can make that assumption, but does it ever get said that they have their own detonators?
No, it specifically said that they have each other's.
Yeah, but there's never a point where you
it's
go...
never, no.
You never go, oh, they've got their own. Like, so nothing ever comes... Basically, that whole sequence, nothing comes of it. Because even at the end, when they're supposed to
Batman
blow
stops
up...
him.
But he's like, oh, okay, they haven't blown themselves up. Oh, I'll do it then. You know, it just kind of... Batman doesn't really stop him. He just kind of, like... he realises that he hasn't even had a chance to do it yet, and I'll just knock it out your hand. Like, it was just coincidence.
because it was...
Okay, but what... Like, that would have been, for me, more of a risk if it was a case of that... The Joker wasn't having to manually trigger it. It was going to trigger, and Batman had to not only stop the Joker, but he also had to break the trigger on the bomb somehow.
Well, yeah,
like,
okay.
Adds more risk.
But
I
then
just feel more could have happened with that, and made that more of a like, shit. How's he going to deal with this sort of moment? And then,
If it was going to happen automatically, though, it would have happened regardless of whether or not the other person blew up the other one. It would have just blown up anyway.
not necessarily. I feel like you could easily explain away that it's rigged so that if one blows, the other one won't, unless they both blow, and then unless they don't blow, and then they both blow at a certain time. I reckon you can make
To
that
me
work.
personally, that also then that creates more story issues and leaps of logic than what we have. Not to say that what we have is good or perfect, but that's that's
Fair enough.
completely subjective.
I mean, my whole point is nothing more than it just when it's just the point where he goes, oh, they didn't blow it up. It's just, I have to do that then. It just feels a bit empty. Like, there wasn't really much of a risk there, really, was there? To me, it's just how
No,
it
that's
felt.
what I think. Yeah, everything after the hospital. This is all after the hospital. I think it's
And then
unnecessary.
Also, the whole thing with the boats, it goes on for such a long time.
It goes on
Oh,
forever.
blow it. No, I won't. And then on the next boat. Oh, blow it. No, I
Yeah.
won't. It's like, oh, fuck it. I get it. All right, I get it. You've
they're
all got
using
moral
it.
conundrums.
They're using it to comment on humanity and morality and all that kind of thing, and they just... Jesus Christ, that horse was dead a long time ago by the time that scene ends.
It was also like they've done that with every sequence already.
Yeah.
We didn't need another one to comment on humanity. That's all the Joker's been trying to do is point out the flaws in humanity throughout this movie. Kill this guy because he's about to reveal who Batman is. Make Batman reveal his identity. That's all this
Or
movie
out
was.
people,
Yeah, exactly. That's all this movie was. So we didn't need another sequence that was him just testing reality. And also, what a fucking stupid plan to move all of the prisoners. When you already know, you already know that shit. He plans for this stuff. He's 10 moves ahead of you to the point
no
where
one thought we'll do a security check on these boats. Make sure there's nothing
I
dodgy
didn't
going
know
on.
anything
with
about
them.
that.
thought to look that there was 9 billion oil drums on each boat. But yeah, well, I didn't even think about that. But also didn't
No, I
even
didn't.
think about. Gordon was like, "Well, we need to move the prisoners. Why? Leave them. There are millions of people in this city, and you've got 2 ferries.
Yeah.
Where are they? Also, where are they going? To the other bit of Gotham. Mm-hmm. I'm so safe. It's like going from County Mall to McDonald's in Crawley. Just being like, I'm safe now from a nuclear explosion.
That might be something you have to consider over the coming weeks.
Might be.
It's just...
The
There's-
county mile is a
there's so
prime
much.
target.
Should we talk some good things?
Yeah, there are a lot of good things. There are
There
a lot,
are a
of,
lot
good
of good
things.
things.
There's some more shit though.
There is some more shit. But because Press Start is going to be essentially entirely negative, I want some positivity because
Right.
I'm already
Me,
tired.
I've got lots of positive things for Press Start. I'm gonna gush some more about Horizon.
Okay, that's one thing.
The opening sequence, the bank robbery.
I think,
Come on, we
Excellent.
haven't even mentioned that yet.
despite the fact that this entire ending is unnecessary, I think this movie opens and closes in the best way that a movie does.
What would the close?
Literally the end. The last minute.
Oh, okay.
Last
So-
2 minutes. The whole, going to use the word again, diegetic narration with the whole jumping forward in time and jumping back, but not in a way that you can't follow it at all. And then it's the Dark Knight. Not a way you would describe the situation to your 9-year-old son, but fine. A watchful protector, a silent guardian, a dark... Shut the fuck up! He's Batman! We get it!
Also, not a way your 9-year-old son would probably talk to you. Well, maybe yours would.
Maybe in Gotham.
It's Gotham. Yeah. That 9-year-old son is going to go home and play Fortnite and do meth.
So I'm going to do after this.
Diegetic narration is narration, but it's happening within the... a character is speaking
saying
it in the
within-
film, but they've cut away to other shots while it's still speaking. Diegetic is within...
If the diegetic is when the sound is within the world and not plastered on top.
I was
of it.
explaining this to Lizzie when we were watching this film. And I was like, oh, Kristian and Jack told me about this.
But yeah, I think the opening of this movie, opening scene, that bank robbery, excellent. And I think the ending, that little montage and the him running away in the dark and him going up that ramp as the final shot. Just the overexposed light coming through.
See, there's so much about the opening scene that's good as well, though. It's shot beautifully. By the way, I've already said this. All the IMAX shots in this film are incredible.
They are. It would be nice if this was made today when all of them could have been IMAX shots as opposed to dealing with fucking...
That and the huge resolution changes.
Yeah.
It's
Not only... Oh my God,
insane.
not only does it fucking change aspect
fuck
ratio,
yeah.
it changes resolution. It's like trying to watch a video on YouTube and it keeps switching to 360p.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was like.
Thought
That's
Barbara
exactly
Gordon
what it
was
was
his
like.
daughter. It's also his wife.
It's insane and it's really distracting and it's really annoying. And the fact that sometimes he literally does one shot in a sequence in the IMAX and then the next shot isn't. It's like...
Do you know what? I noticed, even though it wasn't Like I rented this on Apple TV, so thankfully all of it was just letterboxed.
Yeah.
It wasn't flicking or switching.
Yeah, I did it on YouTube. I rented it from. It was the same thing. Yeah.
But there was one shot in particular that I was just, why was this in IMAX? And it's a
Yeah,
shot.
there's a few of those.
Yeah, but this one I was just like, why? Some of them I understand. It's like big landscapes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I get it. But this one was Christian Bale through a windshield of a Lamborghini.
Yeah,
Why? Because it's the only one in that entire sequence.
because it makes the
Why?
Lamborghini look pretty.
Yeah, but you can't see the car.
I know, it's dumb. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're rid of the film. It's insane.
It's just the windscreen.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Anyway, but the opening sequence is shot beautifully. It's really well pieced together as you're introduced to kind of like an introduction to the Joker and the way you're introduced to him and just, the way you're seeing everything that's going on. And as we said, no, I killed a bus driver. Like, it's such a great opening line.
So good.
It's his opening line, yeah.
Yeah, it's really clever, really clever. It just works really well. It sets everything up. Like, I've seen some people complain about the thing of the bus driving out of the thing. Like, how did nobody notice that?
Yeah.
How did nobody notice that? That's a good...
I wouldn't argue it's the driving out so much.
The driving in as well.
It's the driving in that, and the fact that the bus was just sticking out the side of the
And
lights
also,
the entire
the
time.
back
and
of the
no one
bus has
noticed.
no fucking damage to it whatsoever at all.
No, but my main thing was...
I'm
like,
pretty sure
he
sides
doesn't-
of banks are stronger than buses as well.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
Let's go find out.
No.
Mate's a bus driver.
For the
We can borrow
feds, he is joking.
Yes.
him. No, I'm not.
We don't have a bus.
No, my friend does. He's a bus driver.
Oh, God.
Well, he doesn't own the bus.
But you can get one.
Stop speaking. You're going to be in... You're going to be in prison. Like, not even for an offence. You're going to be locked away as a just in case.
I don't. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
But he doesn't even come out as the last bus. He comes out in between two buses.
So the previous bus driver didn't think to go.
That's weird.
Oh, weird.
There are so many buses in this movie.
There are.
There are two different sequences that involve buses either magically appearing or going missing. How do you lose a bus? It's very large.
And
it's
yellow.
And it had two highly important people on it. How do you lose the bus?
That's like Ramsey. How the fuck did you burn ice cream? It's the equivalent of that.
Mental. But anyway, I was saying good things. Yes, this
Well, the good things are, like, it's Heath Ledger, isn't it?
Yeah, the
Like,
interrogation scene.
at the end of it, I think any time
Yeah.
he's on screen and everything he says
I think
and does,
performance-wise, this is pretty much solid all around.
absolutely he is. But
But obviously
Yeah.
not to the level of Heath Ledger.
I think what he does it so well is every time he's on screen, he's completely owning the scene and he's captivating. And with every little tiny nuance in the way he moves and the way he does things, it's
The way
so
the
detailed.
lick of these scars.
Yeah.
That he does all the time.
I learned a thing about that
I know
yesterday.
I know the trivia, but you go.
I learned a thing about that. It was annoying and kept coming off. That's why he kept licking it.
So he turned it into a tick for the character.
Cool. That's really cool. There's a really good bit. It's not even a line. It's just a word where he's goes in to confront all the gangsters and like basically tells them he's taken over and fuck you. Where he's got these grenades and they say to him, "Well, you think you're gonna walk in here and sort of walk out?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Yeah, but
It's
it's not
just-
even.
it's
But it's
so
not
good.
even like a cliche. Like you did it as kind of like a cliche confident.
Yeah. No,
It's just
yeah.
he's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like everything he says is so realistic and natural. And I think one of the things that Heath Ledger as an actor, and there are many other actors that are good like this, but like the difference between like good actor and like a good actor, and like he delivers every line in such a natural way in the terms of like putting pauses and maybe repeating a word as he's phrasing his sentence or something in ways that we do naturally as we talk. But when you're acting and reading a script, you like a lesser actor wouldn't do that.
No.
Like he's really good at just putting in these little like takes a moment just to swallow and clear his mouth and all these tiny little things that just makes it feel so natural. And then but consequently at the same time, because he's so confident and almost strangely the most natural performer there, makes him like the most unnatural in comparison to everyone else, which then makes that weirdness of the character stick out more. It's really, really clever.
And it really, because of all those things, it made it such a different take on Joker than we'd ever had before. You know, there were things, of course, I'm sure he was watching, he'd watched and taken things from the Jack Nicholson one and that kind of thing. You look at, say, Jack Nicholson and Mark Hamill, how different their portrayals were.
I know Heath Ledger wanted to actively not copy Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He wanted to do something different. But again, he probably would have been watching that to make sure he doesn't do something different, I guess. Oh, no, it doesn't do the same.
No, absolutely. And the first scene and the scene that he used to practice was Why So Serious? That was the scene that he was given to read to audition, and that's the one he literally locked himself away for 6 weeks to do. And then people don't know, I said to them, I randomly fell down a bit of a rabbit hole after watching Dark Knight last night, and I watched a Heath Ledger documentary.
If you can tell me where I can get this Heath Ledger documentary, I'd like to watch it.
I rented it on Apple TV Plus for 99p.
There you go. Done.
It was good. Learned a lot. Very sad. I was just sat there going, it's 1 a.m. I don't need this in my life. But yeah, anyway, and his friend was just like, oh, the Joker, you can't really do the Joker. It's just going to be Jack Nicholson. You always want to do something serious. And apparently he just came out of the room doing do you want to know how I got these scars? And his friends went, oh, fuck.
Imagine what it would have been like for the other actors on set, like having to try and act opposite that.
Of Christian Bale in the Batman suit just going, what the fuck? I've just shit myself.
Didn't he? Weren't it one of the ones where he didn't come out of character at any point and stuff like that in between takes?
Yeah, there's a whole thing about he would stay in character.
I know a lot of actors have done that in the part over the years, but
yeah, I don't actually know how true it was because they do actually make a mention of when he did a film with Mel Gibson, and one of the things he took away from that was going in and out and actually being able to go in and out of character, and how much better that was and made it, because just staying in character all the time is exhausting. It's not good for you. Obviously, the main thing, that rumours kind of stemmed from the fact that everyone thought, at least for a long time, that Heath Ledger killed himself.
Yeah.
And said he got into a really dark place playing the Joker and started taking drugs to help with the role, and
that was the original story.
And it killed him.
I've always until now thought that was it. That was
No. He was a massive insomniac, basically. He just had loads of energy and just didn't sleep much. He was just one of those people. And it got to a point where that was becoming a problem. So he just had these sleep medication. He just had sleep medication, like intense sleeping pills, and just accidentally OD'd.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there was some stuff about it might have been a prescription issue or something like that.
Oh, okay. No, literally until just now, I always thought that the widely sort of believed story was.
Well, that is the widely believed story. It's just the incorrect one.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not true. It was literally a case of like people were talking to him a few hours before, and he was just like can't sleep, complaining about the sleeping pills not working very much, and then he was dead.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then it was, oh my God. Part in the documentary where people were just talking about like figuring out that was what was happening. Like this could be the only reason why I haven't heard from him, and then just pure panic and everyone just trying to find him, and it was very sad. I'm going to stop talking about it. But yeah, Heath Ledger, fucking phenomenal. Obviously won a posthumous Oscar for it. I do firmly believe that because the Academy are so far up their own arse at this point that if he hadn't died, he wouldn't have won it. Not to say he doesn't deserve it. He did deserve it. Especially in 2008. Like, what the fuck came out in 2008 other than Iron Man, before people shout at me? And The Incredible Hulk.
Iron Man,
yeah. God, this came out the same year as Iron Man. Jeez. We're so old! I was 15 when this came out.
Oh Lord, don't put it like that. 17.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, Jesus.
What makes it even more like is that we're all older than Heath Ledger was as well.
Yeah, he was 28, wasn't he?
He was 28.
Yeah. That's insane in itself. Just watching him as a Joker and going, he's 28.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's mad, isn't it?
This has been the most depressing podcast I've ever done,
Well, that's because we're just
and we've done hundreds of these.
yeah. Very few of them have been about someone who died.
Well, next week we're doing Schindler's List. No, not really. Oh, wow.
That's
Whoa.
mean. That's mean.
Wow.
True, but mean.
This is how long I've not been here for. I don't recognise some of these names in the chat.
Too much bored. It's Tomb.
Tomb.
Or Buzz.
Slash Lara Croft / Buzz. Slash, yeah. I didn't say anything.
Sorry, Daddy Hole.
I just sat here perfectly quietly.
It's fine. It's
Pondering
fine.
how
But anyway,
much I've
let's not
wasted
talk
my
about
life.
the fact that Heath Ledger is dead. Let's talk about how good he is.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
one of my favourite things about this movie is the fact that he keeps changing the story of how he got the
Yes.
scars.
So good.
Yeah.
One of my absolute favourite things about any fucking
I want to know
movie,
if any of them
character.
are true. I want to know if any of them.
No.
Is there
No.
one that was true?
No, judging from that character, he was bored.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was bored. Oh, I was here then.
Yeah.
Is my guess. Yeah. But I love that every single time. But he also tailors it to the person he's telling it to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's really good. I love all his little stuff. The bit where he's got the guy doing the reading out help me with my words. He's filming the guy who's reading out the thing on the television broadcast, reading out the speech he's written.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like saying it with him.
Mm-hmm.
So just saying every other word like with him, just like sometimes beating him before he actually finishes the sentence. He's getting the last word in and stuff like that. Almost like I'm really proud of this thing I've written and I want to say it myself in a way. Like really good, really subtle stuff.
I mean, all of it is fucking terrifying. Like, imagine being in a... Well, we are in a real-world situation where everything is fucking horrifying on
Yes,
the
we
TV.
have
But, I
been
mean,
for
imagine
many
turning
years.
it on and the first video he does, the one where he's killed the fake...
Yeah.
the copycat Batman, and he does the video of him like torturing him, well, not torture, but
Look at me.
interrogating him, and like, look at me, and then just his yellow teeth frozen on the screen. I'm just like, oh god, that's a bit scary. It is. No.
And the other thing they also do with his character, that okay, he's creepy and he's weird and everything else, but I've said this so many times on this show. The best and most interesting villains are the intelligent ones.
Oh, he's
Oh, yeah.
fucking smart
He's
as shit.
so fucking
Yeah.
smart. So smart, so switched on, so ahead of the game of everyone, and that's what makes him like
Terrifying.
really terrifying. Because he's not only is he crazy and unhinged, he's smarter than everyone else around him.
It's almost like a Bond villain thing. That's always been such a theme in Bond, where like
When
the
they get
villains
them
are
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
when they get them right, it's like
It's always the intended thing.
Yeah,
with
it's
Bond.
yeah,
intended.
and then they have like a big henchman who's got about 2 brain cells, but then
we've-
they've got
We said on the we even said about Fast and Furious a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, Luke Evans' character like generally a bit scarier because he's smart. He's smart and he's on top of things. Therefore, he's scarier. And I think the same with lots of villains. The villains that are smart are scary. You look into against Far Cry and stuff like that. The best ones and ones where the villains are really actually smart.
Like
Pagan
Pagan
Min,
Min, yeah.
etc.
That's why Ben Kingsley gets so many parts as a villain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It works really, really well. Like, but even just the little things, like with the like, it's come up in the chat, the interrogation scene with Batman, like bashes his head against a table. He's like, never start with the head. Your victim gets all fuzzy and you can't feel the next thing. And then obviously his hands like, yeah, see, you can't feel it. Like, really clever stuff.
It's carrying on from one. He's still in the cell. It's not the same scene, but him. Do you want to know which one of them was a coward? And you're just like, oh god!
Oh,
And
but that bit,
baiting him to fight because he knows he'll win.
Lizzie
And-
actively
Mainly
went
because he's
like,
a bit of a got a bit of a mirror
ouch.
stashed away
Well,
already.
yeah.
Yeah.
But just, oh my god! I will say one thing I can't get over in these movies, and it's laughably stupid, is Batman's voice. It's in all of them. It's not just this one.
Yeah.
But I can't get over it. He's also having a very quiet. Okay, a bit chaotic because they've just fallen out of a skyscraper, but moment with Rachel, who knows who he is, and he's going, "Are you okay?" He's so. Speak like a normal person.
I thought he had like a synthesizer in his cowl, like a voice synthesizer.
Most
know.
Batmen do. Batfleck does. Well, not most, but Batfleck has a synthesizer. Other versions of Batman just speak, and obviously
Yes.
they use the leap of logic that people don't recognise your voice.
Yes.
Okay.
Christian Bale couldn't breathe in this costume though, through his nose.
That doesn't surprise me.
I
That's
saw
also
a-
very bad design.
Yeah, I
Just
saw a
make
thing
holes.
saying that he doesn't have, there's no nostril hole, so he can't breathe out of his nose, so he's always breathing out of his mouth. And actually, if you watch, you can tell because he talks like this and then has to breathe through his mouth in between words because he can't breathe through his nose.
Which makes I think it's Funny or Die.
You sounded
the version,
just like Cartman in the. I'm not.
but you know the Funny or Die version of Batman.
Yeah.
But which sounds exactly like
Is that
that. Because,
I stabbed you first. Is that
yeah.
How much you saying that?
It's very funny, and it's taken Robert Pattinson to help me realise since 2005 what I don't like about the Batman suit in this movie, and it's because the hole is just this instead of this.
Okay.
And I saw Robert Pattinson's suit, and I was like, that's what I hate about it, is a stupid little butthole face. And I will admit, weirdly enough,
Funny enough, that's what Jack said about me when he first met me too.
I also prefer, I wish he couldn't turn his head. Because that was a better suit. The bigger neck was a better suit. I understand this is more practical and therefore more realistic, and therefore you would want it.
I still can't
Is it the lack of rubber nipples? No, it will never be the lack of rubber nipples because that was haunting.
I do think that this film also has a moment of reason 474 that everyone knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, or at least why that mafia guy in China or Hong Kong, wherever they go, knows, because it seems convenient that when Lucius Fox would turn up, Batman turns up in in the other side of the country on the same day.
Yeah.
Like, I would put to him, there's a link there, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you wouldn't
very
necessarily go, it's Bruce Wayne, but yeah, you would assume there was
You
a
assume
connection.
Wayne
connection.
Enterprises were involved somewhere.
Yeah, there is a connection. Well, they at least not the one.
Someone
I keep
does
saying
work it
that
out.
I've said the one thing I like about everything I liked.
You do
You
that.
know
There's,
what I
there's
mean.
a lot of good things about the film. It's just
there
it's
is-
very easy to
I
get
was more
caught up
commenting on the
big...
fact that I keep saying the one
Sure.
about all the individual things. 6,000. That is an answer to Rich. 6,000.
Yes.
We made an error by making it too low. I'm going to make it high. 6,000 paid simultaneous pays.
In a month.
Was the documentary called I Am Heath Ledger? Yes, it was. But oh yeah, another one of the things I really liked about this movie is just someone did just figure it out.
Yeah.
By all the
I like the way they played it off as well. It's like, so
Just
you're
go-
telling me that you think this like millionaire philanthropist is a...
he just beats people up with his bare hands, or beats hardened criminals up with his bare hands, and your plan is to blackmail this person. Just go. You can keep that.
Good luck. That's good. It's really good.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's like, it's nice when you have people figure it out. And he does it in Batman Begins, and he does it in Dark Knight Rises as well. In that, he reveals to people who he can't just say his fucking name. He reveals to people who they are with a quote.
Yes, yeah, he does that a lot. Yeah.
And it's just you're telling them, you're making it really up. Just say it.
Well, I guess what he's doing is he's trying to point out that more a case of, if I tell you this way, you'll believe me, as opposed to just some random guy going, I'm Bruce Wayne.
I'm Bat Wayne. I'm Bruce Man. Fuck.
It's I just looked up. It's apparently $185 million it cost to make. Apparently,
This film.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how much of that went on the ridiculously well-known cast? Like, how expensive must have this been from a casting point of view?
Yeah. God, remember, actors weren't paid as much
No.
then. They were obviously still paid millions.
Yeah, well, obviously Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Christian Bale. Well, these were all big names at the time.
I'm Michael Caine.
Were they there?
Not Michael Caine.
Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman were. Absolutely.
By 2008, I kind of feel like they were very well known, but weren't really doing much.
Yeah, weren't doing much. They're big names, but not doing much. I agree.
Still, surely that would have.
These are the
driven everyone
films that-
more.
It's a big star cast.
No, not
but
really.
like,
They would want to do something. It's a big star cast. They would have been paid millions. But
yes,
I'm
but
just,
it's also the
wouldn't have been paid-
Marvel level we're at now, with the cast being on
That's
50
true.
million. It was not a thing then.
Yeah, very true.
So
yeah, exactly. So they would have been paid a lot. This is one of, like, let's be real, Heath Ledger is obviously, like, everyone knows who he is now.
Yeah, he was not as big a name when it was made.
No, obviously, like, he wasn't not famous, because obviously A Knight's Tale was huge and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain, yeah, absolutely. And this was his second to last film.
What was his last?
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Never heard of it.
He was filming that when he died,
Right.
so he didn't finish it. But he's
Who
still
was this? Sorry,
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Yes, I've seen that, and it's shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he died in the middle of it, so they
Yeah,
had to.
and then they wrote it so that his character changes actor three
Yeah.
times throughout the film.
There's
So
more
Johnny,
than three, I
What?
think.
yeah, so Johnny Depp plays the same character.
Colin
someone
Farrell.
else. Colin
Hang on.
Farrell. Yeah.
Those three people playing the same character makes no fucking sense to me.
Well, it's this weird dream world type thing.
Where
So the
he's
main
like a-
character is Andrew Garfield.
Yep.
But it's this weird like dream world type thing. So he takes on a different appearance and a slightly different personality
Personality
with each time.
Oh.
They made that change after he passed.
The concept was quite interesting. To be fair, it was just again a very messy film with a lot of weird stuff in it.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yes, Hannah was right. It was a weird Terry Gilliam film. But yeah, there is a lot of good names in this film. Obviously, as we said, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine. You've got Maggie Gyllenhaal replacing What's Her Chops as Rachel.
What's the jobs?
I can't remember her name. What's her name?
I can't remember. I was like, what's the jobs? That made me smile.
Katie Holmes.
Oh, Tom Cruise's ex.
Yeah. Was it Katie Holmes? It was
think it
Katie
might have
Holmes,
been.
wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Rachel was Katie Holmes, right? Well, obviously
Why did
replaced
they-
by... I just don't think they could get her back. So they just hired someone else.
Yes, it was. They couldn't get her back. She was doing stuff, contracts. She was pregnant, I think, as well. So.
Arguably a good choice, I think. Maggie Gyllenhaal, or Gyllenhaal, whatever, is better.
I don't like the character at all.
Oh no,
she
but
doesn't
I
bring
mean,
much.
she was better in this one. This is probably the only good performance I've ever seen out of Aaron Eckhart,
Yep.
which is weird. So it's weird how that happens.
I couldn't remember what it was. But I managed to find it. After the last 10 minutes of thinking about Michael Caine had another fantastic line in this movie.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
No,
That's a good line.
no. A Michael Caine level line, much like the what's the point in all those bloody push-ups? You can't even lift a log.
No, what's the point of all those push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log? Actually,
And then there's, I don't suppose you can tell me the Russian of apply your own bloody suntan.
oh yeah. No, that is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah,
I also
I
liked.
love Michael Caine.
I did bloody tell you though. After today, I don't want to. But I
trying
did
to-
bloody tell you.
Trying to think of like even going back to the proper old stuff he did, like Zulu and that, where like he isn't absolutely brilliant. He's always good.
Oh yeah, Michael Caine's
He's
fantastic.
so good.
Michael Caine's fantastic. As I said last week,
I'm Michael Caine.
Bale got paid $10 million.
not.
Oh.
I thought you had to be in you.
Yeah, see, you're Batman and you get $10 million,
Sounds alright.
and then Iron Man gets 75.
I don't think he got 75 for our first Iron Man,
No, of
though.
course he didn't. No, he got 50 for Avengers, so he hadn't
Yeah.
done much before that.
Back on, is it?
Imagine being his co-stars in that scenario, being like, this motherfucker who's doing an equal amount of work as me, if not
To be
less.
fair,
How footballers must
that
feel.
is a scenario of he went, I want 50 million. They went, okay. I imagine if they went, I want 50 million, they would have gone, okay.
No, I don't think they would have been able to at that point, to be fair.
Yeah, we've already given 50 to Robert. So,
No, I don't think any of them would have had that.
I think
Full
the main,
power at that
I think
point.
the main ones, I think like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, like the main ones that were the.
Well, you got to remember that their films hadn't come out before they started work on the Avengers.
This is true. That's true. Yeah.
So obviously they started getting that money for like Age
Yeah,
of
that's
Ultron
true.
and
They
stuff.
already would have been contracted on it, whereas
Yeah.
Robert Downey was later, and then it was like we need you
Robert
for
Downey
this.
was earlier. You mean?
No, I mean like bringing
Oh,
him
the
in for
contract.
the Avengers
Yeah,
contract
yeah,
would have
yeah.
been done later.
Yeah.
So then that's where he gets to go. Well, then I want that much.
Yeah, because imagine
'Cause
Robert
I
Downey
remember-
Jr. signed on for like 1 or 2
I remember
movies,
seeing a
whereas Chris
thing
Evans
where
signed on for 9.
with Robert Downey Jr. about that big $50 million $50 million paycheck was a case of he's like I just want to see how high I could get it. I just want to see.
Oh
if I
yeah,
could push it
I get that.
Oh, yeah.
I 100% understand. I
Yeah.
would believe that's what he did.
Yeah.
So I want to just.
That's
Oh, actually,
that's
a
what
better
I do
comparison.
at
A better
work all the
comparison.
time when I
This
can't
is
win
how
contracts.
much time has changed in terms of how much things like people get paid. Obviously, his initial payout was he got the extra back end stuff. Got $10 million for the entirety of this movie. Robert Downey Jr. got $10 million for Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Really?
Yeah,
He did it for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm exaggerating. It probably is about that.
That's the power of making your character popular.
Yep, that's the power
That's
of
Frank
also
Gosling
just
was
getting heavy, because obviously he was the first lead out of the entire MCU, and just staying involved in the process on the back end. They all got a lot of fucking money, which is why the budget for that movie was the budget for Infinity War and Endgame together as a single project was $1 billion.
Fucking hell.
And it made about $4.
$4.
Yes, Endgame made $4. Only I saw it.
And paid a quarter of the price for the ticket.
He went
I
on
got no
Cineworld
Oh,
Day.
yeah. You just had to pay the IMAX upgrade. That was all.
Yeah, exactly. It was just me. It was great.
How good was it? Did any of you guys take advantage of Cineworld Day on that night?
No.
No.
I did.
I had seen everything. I was very sad. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've seen everything.
Nah, I literally went last night and ended up leaving about 1 a.m. because I figured out that late at night. Oh fuck! It's Cineworld Day. I have to go and see something.
It's fair. I respect it, to be honest.
Nah.
I was, if I wasn't like, oh, I can't be fucked, I was half tempted to just be like, I'll come.
Yeah, I went on my own.
But I couldn't be bothered. I can't remember what I was doing. I was waiting for my curry.
It's
This
fair.
is-
And
fair.
I needed to watch this. Yeah.
I was on my way back from Watford.
Yes. You said that one. Ew, Watford. Almost as
enough.
bad as Slough, as you said. Yes. I really liked Harvey Dent. I didn't like the Two-Face stuff, as we've said. But
The problem with the Two-Face stuff was that it was rushed.
Yes, yeah. But as I said, probably the only good performance I've ever seen out of Aaron Eckhart. And I mean, that was fucking great. He
Yeah.
did great. It was all very good. I liked the way they portrayed that character as like the White Knight, and Batman's like, I can retire and fuck your girl.
Like a real Dark Knight I am.
Showed off his batarang.
Oh, God. Does that mean it comes back on you?
Yeah. Exactly what it means.
Although his batarangs don't come back.
No, they don't. That's a good point.
They're more like Baticans.
Batikins.
It doesn't really work, does it?
I know what you're going for, like shurikens.
Yeah.
I get it.
The
It was
problem with the
Gondor's ones.
Two-Face stuff was it was awful. I don't think it was awful. It was just shouldn't have been in this movie.
Look, Hannah, stop sugarcoating it. Tell us what you really mean.
Also, again, another moment of dead, which is when
The car crash?
the car crash, dead.
Nah, you could survive that easily.
That wasn't what I was going to go for. No, it was when Rachel falls off the building and he catches her, and they both land on a car again.
Oh, I see.
Dead.
No, he slowed down quite a lot.
Dead.
You used the
It
cake,
was
didn't
a
he?
long way. It was a long way.
No, he slowed down.
Don't buy it.
Okay.
Again, at least some damage. Maybe not to him, he's armoured, but to her, she was in a dress. She's at least got like a scratch.
Maybe she did and we just didn't see it.
Seems convenient.
It was on the buttocks.
Oh,
She gets out and she's got a wing mirror up her ass. Deleted scene. It's on the DVD extras.
Oh, I don't know why this reminded me. It has nothing to do with a wing mirror up the arse.
I hope not.
But that is the noise she made, coincidentally. Just lands and go, oh! As you would. The fucking truck flip.
oh yeah, it's cool.
That is cool as
Really
shit.
cool.
And like entirely practical. To the point where they didn't do any CG on it because they forgot to remove the smoke from the air piston that they used to
Oh,
that they
okay.
used to flip. That's why there's this weird steam coming off the bottom because it was cold, and they used to flip it.
It's cool.
It is fucking cool. I do appreciate the also obvious statement from the SWAT guy going, "That's not good," as the helicopter crashes into the ground. No, you're correct. It's
Like
not
a
good.
Peter Griffin
It's not
line.
good. Hannah said, if he had skin damage, fair enough, but the massive holes in his face and his complete indifference to that was ridiculous. I've been more incapacitated by period pain. Yeah, no, he wouldn't be walking around.
No, absolutely wouldn't be.
But I mean,
Also, why was his suit damaged?
because it was on fire.
What, the one, and he's wearing the same suit after. So when
Yeah.
he gets out of his hospital,
I
he
noticed
puts
that.
the original suit.
He puts
that
the damaged
burned.
that'd be
suit
the
back
only-
on.
That'd be the only clothes he had on him.
It wouldn't have been on him. That would have been demolished. That would have been cut off him. Like, because that suit would have been like grafted to his arm. That would have been cut off him and surgically removed.
Yeah,
and stuff.
he would have also been unconscious, and they would have done emergency skin grafts.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Give me
wouldn't
your
have
ass and
They
put it on
wouldn't
your
have put
face.
like
Yeah, I
a
remember.
single layer of an arm cast.
Yeah, I know. I know.
on his face.
Just a bit of cloth over his face. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Nailed it. Right, let's go to lunch.
He'd be in like an induced coma, I reckon.
That'd be 10 grand, I think. Yeah. He would absolutely be knocked out. It wouldn't be like he's refusing
Because
pain
he would
medication.
he would need to be on like breathing apparatus and all sorts. That's an ICU job. That
Oh,
is,
God,
like-
yeah.
Yeah. That's ICU for several months.
Yeah, and you're lucky if you wake up again.
Bane has asthma and he has a weird mask.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I appreciate it. It's more than asthma.
no, it was emphysema.
Yes.
No.
Exactly.
I'm assuming.
They would have had to peel the suit off his arm with tweezers when they debrided it. Probably. Either that or he just... Well, I mean, it's... Obviously, they just didn't really think about it, did they? Because obviously Two-Face he wears a half and half suit and...
I did sort of relate to, obviously I've never been that badly hurt, but I am very much, no matter how much pain or ill I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm not going to the doctor. Even when I fucking nearly snapped my leg in half when down the stairs, I went to a football match that night and it was standing, it didn't even have a seat. And I was like, I'm good, like purple with pain, just like, I'm fine, yeah, I'm alright. I went to the doctor like a week. They said to me, when did you do this? I was like, a week ago. And they were like, what the fuck are you doing here now? So I did sort of go, nah, fair enough, Harv. Yeah, no, I'll get you.
Also, just the lack of intelligence in the shooting the driver while he's driving. Pull over. Get him to pull over. Be like, this situation is solved. I'd like to exit the vehicle, please. And obviously the mob guy would have been like, I don't want this guy in my car anymore. Agreed. Driver, pull over. You can do the coin flip in the car and just know what you're doing. He's pulled over. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes. Indeed.
We haven't talked about Gary Oldman.
We haven't talked about Gary
Gary
Oldman.
Oldman's great.
Yeah, he's good.
I love this movie. I love Gary Oldman as well.
Get him on
I
it.
don't love this movie. This movie's all right. Yeah, Gary Oldman's great. And he had the promotion to Commissioner Gordon.
I do love this movie.
I do love this movie.
I just think Batman Begins is better.
I mean, your exact words were, this movie is fine to good.
Yeah, I can still love something that's fine to good. I don't think you're that great, but I love you.
To be fair, I love some awful films. It's called Parasite!
Pretty sure it's called Admit One, your weekly video.
Yeah.
I'm making a joke. Poor me, yeah. Quick, give me sympathy before it catches up and you hear what I just said.
Yeah.
We've just seen the moment Rabbit Hole Media just planned it. Yeah, fuck you.
Next week,
goodbye.
just Rich sat here on his own, like talking to
Considering this is
himself about
Chris's house, there
Parasite.
might be a problem.
It'd be the week after for Rich. It's a 3-week interval.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know what you'll be watching. Oh no, shit. We might have to look at schedule.
Oh.
I rescind the poor Jack after the... Fuck.
Oh yeah, I've seen the problem.
Have you?
Yeah,
I haven't. What the fuck's going on?
Nah, it's
A
not
potential... It might not be.
To
It
be
would have
honest,
to be a
it's
chat
not your
with Rich.
problem.
Yeah, it's not your problem. It'll also be a conversation with... Because it might not be. But it might be.
So-
yeah, say something. I've lost words.
Well, the film we've said a lot. There are many good things about this film.
Yes.
There are issues with it as well. That doesn't make it a bad film.
No. I still completely enjoyed my time watching this last night.
I-
Batman murders dogs. Joker was right.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I really don't like that you're just about to say that he beats up Rottweilers. I like Rottweilers.
I mean, they were
I
good.
like Rottweilers,
Yeah.
and even if they'd been trained to throw me off, to
Careful with your words.
to
Almost.
maul me to death,
All right, cool.
I wouldn't
Safe.
throw them off a fucking skyscraper.
No.
That seems excessive.
Yes.
Not the fucking dog's fault.
No.
Throw the Joker off a skyscraper.
But he did.
Yeah, but he had a... Why did he throw Harvey Dent just clean off the building to his demise, but left the Joker alive?
We used all his grapple gun ammo on the Joker.
Grapple gun ammo. It's a wire.
Yeah, but it was still on the Joker, wasn't it?
I'm sure he has more than one.
Am I not?
Or richest man in one of the richest men in the fucking world.
Doesn't
He
mean he's
can't
not a stingy
afford two
bastard.
cables.
Yeah, but
He bought 10,000 helmets in the last movie.
Yeah, but utility belt's only so big, innit?
Not according to previous
Yeah,
Batman.
he had his white
the
chocolate Toblerone
efficiency-
in there, so he didn't have to
Adam
on a
West had
grapple
the
gun.
efficiency to carry around bat shark repellent spray.
Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
How are you supposed to fight Batman? I'm a shark.
They certainly would have succeeded if he didn't have a shark repellent spray.
Oh, I forgot that I'm a shark.
I was about to say I'd love to do the Adam West Batman movie. I wouldn't.
No,
No,
it'd be awful.
pass.
I agree. Pass.
I'm not sure I got a well done for. I'm not sure if it was the shark joke or a different... I don't know.
Really annoyingly, Fast 9 premieres on Sky 3 days after your podcast about it. That is very annoying.
Very annoying. We're not changing the schedule.
Nah. I'm still not watching it.
Oh shit, they're fun.
Nah,
They're
Have you
good
seen any of
movies.
them?
not in years.
Nah, they're
You
fun.
suggested Life is Brian. You can enjoy it.
Yeah,
Life of Brian's amazing.
false.
No, not false.
Very false.
No.
Fast 6 is amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, it was good.
The last one I saw was Tokyo Drift.
I see.
That's-
The last
that's
one
your
you saw
problem.
was the worst one.
Oh, really?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
last
Yes.
one?
2.
Tokyo Drift. It's,
No,
on, it's on
two.
our ranking.
Is John Cleese
Look.
in it?
No.
I'm not watching
It
it.
says it there. Look, it's the worst one.
But I got
you.
outvoted on that. Let's put this away. We've gotten distracted.
Is that getting particularly pooey shit, Frank?
No. We're not ranking them out of 10. We're just putting them in an order. In an arbitrary list.
Cool.
I agree, Tomb. Tokyo Drift isn't the worst one. That required more question marks, Tomb. Anyway, we've said many things. This film is great. I enjoyed it. It has a lot of issues. It has a lot of great stuff. Fuck pretty much everything after the hospital other than the very, very end. Although, granted, it wouldn't have made much sense if it just went hospital that end minute. That would have been a bit confusing.
I think we'd have more complaints, wouldn't we, really?
Probably, but at the same time... Thank you, Tomb. That's better. That's better. I like it. I was going to say something.
There always needs to be more question marks after how about this?
Was you going to say this is Admit 1? No. Oh.
It was about the film. What was I saying? It's a good film. Enjoyed it. Has some problems.
Not as good as Batman Begins?
Not as good as Batman Begins.
Is it as good as Dark Knight Rises?
Yes.
We'll find out next week.
I
I think you're just tatting now for no real reason.
No, I had actually had something
Much
to say.
like this film.
I believe you. I believe you had something to say, but I also firmly believe you don't remember what it was.
This has been Abbott One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. Excuse me. I've forgotten how to human. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow and No! You can join the chaos and carnage that is our conversation over on the Discord.
Indeed.
So that just came into my head for no reason, and it also means nothing to anybody else. You can now also follow us on Instagram at Rabbit Hole Media. Rabbit Hole Media. Oh, fuck. You can follow us on Instagram at Rabbit Hole Media _UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that have recently gotten wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your heart to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. I'm so sorry, I had like 6 aneurysms during that. I don't know what happened. I'm probably due for death any moment. Coming up on the channel, we in a few moments, we will be moving over to Press Start, our weekly video game podcast, to talk about videos and stuff, and we are going to be shouty.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I have no idea what they're going to be talking about.
Video games.
Tuesday. Tuesday, the first of March. Tuesday, the first.
Tuesday!
Let's not have this battle.
But you can go higher. What
I can go higher.
No, you can't.
He can. He can.
Oh, please. Please.
Where did I get? Look at Tuesday. That's where I got to.
So, no.
There's a dog out there losing its shit.
Yeah, there are bats coming, which is a bit thematic.
Yeah.
Tuesday, we'll be talking about the fate of the Furious, Fast and Furious 8. We don't have anything for Thursday this week, do we?
Not this week.
Excellent.
I do have an idea for a potential thing. We'll do that in a minute.
Next Saturday, we'll be back to talk about The Dark Knight Rises. So, everybody... Next Saturday, we'll be back to talk about The Dark Knight Rises, immediately followed by Press Start once again. So, make sure to stick around. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us.
Sorry, that is my wife has just texted me saying, "Is that the cat crying I can hear? I can't check because I'm in the bath." So
This creates a problem. I need the loo.
You're going to have to find a bush.
Yeah.
Stick around. We're going to talk about video games, and we would love, in fact, for you to still be in the chat. So stick around. But until next time, we shall see you then.